What's up, boys and girls? This is Lance White, and you are watching WGS-TV.
Welcome to another installment of WGS-TV right here on YouTube.com/WrestleGamer and ZephnixTV. I'm Double B Billy Boudreaux, being joined by the Studly Man Ashley. Ashley, how you doing?
I'm doing very well, thanks, Billy. I'm sitting here doing...
Okay, what the fuck?
What?
You, come on.
Seriously?
You interrupting.
Is it me interrupting you, or you interrupting me?
You're interrupting me. Just get out of here.
Okay, it's time. Granted. You take her.
Right. Thank you. Now, where were we, Billy?
As we are being joined by the multiple personalities of Studly Man Ashley, we're going to be talking about Impact Wrestling for the week of September 13, 2012. We open up the show with Austin Aries. This is basically the fallout from TNA's No Surrender. Austin Aries talking about what happened with him and the Aces and Eights. And then he wants to bring out Jeff Hardy to congratulate him on the Bound for Glory series. And I guess it looked like at first we were going to see Austin Aries and Jeff Hardy start to build towards their match. And then Bully Ray comes out. And basically, we got to set up for another Jeff Hardy-Bully Ray match is what we're looking at first glance. But, you know, this was a very decent opening segment, wouldn't you think, Ash?
It was a strong opening segment, but what it evolved into, I just felt was TNA No Surrender.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about it. But as far as this opening segment goes, Ash, I got to go 4 out of 5 on this one. Austin Aries, great on the microphone. Hardy, always good. Bully Ray, always great. So, good opening segment in my opinion. 4 out of 5.
I'd agree, 4 out of 5. It needs to be a strong opening, and that's what you got.
Opening match for this week's TNA Impact Wrestling featured the X Division title being on the line as Zema Ion defended against Sanjay Dutt. Now, didn't this happen at No Surrender?
I think so.
Now, one thing I will say about this opening match, guys and gals, is this match, it was a good opening match. Both Zema Ion and Sanjay Dutt looked really good in this match, but it was very Hurricanrana heavy. I mean, I think I counted maybe 7 or 8 different Hurricanranas in that match. You know, I'm not going to complain about it because they really... It's pretty much, yeah, that's pretty much what it was. I'm not going to complain about it, but, like, every 3 seconds we saw a Hurricanrana. But, nothing bad about this match. Zema Ion retains the title. Decent opening match. I'm going to go 4 out of 5. I would deduct half a point for all the Hurricanranas, but it was still a good match. Your thoughts, Ash?
I have to give it a 3.5 out of 5 if we're doing ratings, because the pay-per-view was much better.
Right.
Despite all the Hurricanranas and everything, it was the John Cena match. This might be a growing trend. It was all Sanjay, and then he decided to do something for the last 30 seconds. Oh, look, he won.
Yeah.
Who saw that coming? Seriously.
The next segment involved Bobby Roode and James Storm. Now, I really don't need to go into real detail as to what exactly happened. But basically, what they used this segment, what they started at No Surrender, they can kind of continued on Impact Wrestling. They're going to be building up into a really good rivalry between Bobby Roode and James Storm again. So they really didn't need to say too much about it. Just had James Storm come out there while Bobby Roode was on the microphone. They started fighting, and they ended up going outside, and that's how they left it. So we've been looking forward to it. I'd say actually we've been anticipating, the continuation of a Roode Storm feud. So I think they did a pretty good execution on this one. 4 out of 5, pretty much. I can't really say anything bad about it because, it's a feud that we've been looking forward to, and hopefully we'll see the continuation and possibly a culmination soon.
It's going to be Bound for Glory, obviously.
Yeah, definitely.
Depends what it is, though.
Maybe I'll lose it.
Depends how it comes in. It's going to be... Let's hope it isn't like the lockdown match that America's Most Wanted had.
Yeah.
And in that sense, it's going to be a blindfold match.
Blindfold match.
Oh, remember that when the bags kept falling off their heads?
Yeah.
There you go. I'd see that again. Except this, well, I wouldn't say tie them actually on their heads, but then they might suffocate, so perhaps not.
Hulk Hogan on this week's Impact Wrestling set up 2 singles matches for the World Tag Team Champions of the World, Christopher Daniels and Kazarian. Kazarian is going to face either AJ Styles or Kurt Angle, and if the Kazarian gets beat, I'm reading my notes here if I can learn to talk. If Kazarian gets beat, then AJ Styles and Kurt Angle get a tag team title shot, and Daniels will take on either Chavo Guerrero or Hernandez, and if Daniels gets beat, then Chavo Guerrero and Hernandez also get a tag team title shot. So this first match,
they get a title shot, you should say. Stop spoiling it.
Well, anyway, this matchup was Kazarian and AJ Styles. Great match. Couple of things I need to note. The spot with the DDT on the ring apron that kind of got botched. Let me just say this. Kazarian is a lucky person right now. A lucky person not to come away with a broken neck from that DDT botch on the ring apron. They missed the ring apron and they end up flipping onto the floor. And now I will say this, it looked like another scary situation, which also really reminds me, I want to, just take a little quick heads up here. Big props and respect to Mike Tenay and Taz for mentioning Jared the King Lawler and how well he's doing on the opening of their show. That shows you how much respect Jerry the King Lawler has in the wrestling industry. Not just in the WWE, but in the wrestling industry all over the world.
Thank God New Jack was on the show.
Yeah, we'll probably be making a separate video concerning my thoughts on New Jack and what a lower life form he is. But anyway, back to AJ Styles and Kazarian. Great matchup between these two guys. Styles gets the win, but it was a very entertaining match. Always like to see Styles and Kazarian work a match, whether a tag team or they're against each other. And it was just really well done. So I'm going to go 4.5 out of 5. I was that thoroughly entertained in that match, Ash.
I'll probably say 4 out of 5. It was a very good match. Although with the way they were working it, the stuff kind of went very obvious as to how it would follow on.
Yeah, but again, we got to still say Kazarian, lucky person not to come away with a broken neck after that botched DDT on the ring apron. I mean, that was a very scary thing to see. So, next up we go to backstage, and Bully Ray is confronting Jeff Hardy. We think his eyes is closed, but remember he gets that weird eye painted on his eyelids. The dude is crazy as fuck. But Bully Ray is, trying to talk up Jeff Hardy into putting up his shot at Bound for Glory for the TNA World Heavyweight title on the line in their match tonight, which begs the question, at that time I was thinking, they're going through with it, and if they have Jeff Hardy lose his shot at Bound for Glory, then what was the whole point of having the Bound for Glory series? I mean,
that's going to possibly be in my final thoughts. Just saying. Yeah,
well, Hulk Hogan in the next segment kind of made it official that the matchup was going to take place. Then he starts talking about the Aces and Eights and how the place was going to be on lockdown. And then next thing you know, predictable as ever, you get the Aces and Eights up on their screen saying that, did you lock us out or did you lock us in? Playing to the old paranoia factor of, is this person in the Aces and Eights? Or is that person? It eerily... I don't know if you think the same way I do on this one, Ash, but it eerily reminds me about a lot of the things that they did with the NWO in WCW.
Originality is not one of the writers' things. All I will say is, what if they got locked in and out in the door frame? That's going to hurt.
Yeah, it would. So... 3 out of 5 on that segment with Hogan and Aces and Eights, because you said it. You said it yourself. Originality is not one of TNA's strong points. So
I'll probably give it 3 out of 5 as well. Is this separate to the segment that happened with everybody discussing each stuff?
Yeah, because this happened in the ring.
Okay.
Yeah, it happened in the ring. Then next up it was Christopher Daniels, the other half of the World Tag Team Champions of the world. And he's getting set to take on Chavo Guerrero, who was, they had a little segment before backstage before he came out. He was visibly upset because, of what happened the previous week and the previous encounter with them and Daniels and Kazarian, because basically Daniels pulled what he thought was something out of the Guerrero playbook, using the title belt behind the referee's back. And, he was upset at himself, and he wanted to get back at Daniels and also get them into the tag team title contention in this matchup. So we get Chavo and Christopher Daniels to, again, another phenomenal match with Daniels and Chavo Guerrero. I really can't remember, at all if Daniels and Chavo Guerrero have ever worked a match before TNA. If they worked in some indie scene or something, I am not entirely sure. But to me, for the first time seeing them work a match one-on-one, I gotta say, actually, I was very impressed and very entertained with the way the match went. Chavo Guerrero gets the win, so now both AJ Styles and Kurt Angle and Chavo Guerrero and Hernandez both have tag team title shots. And that's pretty much where we're going to be going at Bound for Glory. So, Chavo Guerrero and Daniels, great match. I'm going to go 4 out of 5 on this one.
Yeah, 4 out of 5 as well. Some very good stuff from both Kazarian and Daniels. I bet Hernandez and Kurt Angle are like, we got fucking left out.
Yeah. Now, let's talk about what you were talking about, what happened backstage with involving Hogan, Al Snow, D'Lo Brown, Bruce Pritchard, and you also had Dixie Carter there and Brooke Hogan. And this was basically, them playing up to that paranoia thing that they started with the segment with Aces and Eights earlier in the night with Hogan in the ring. Are you a member of Aces and Eights? Are you a member of Aces and Eights? And like Bruce Pritchard is actually going to be a member of Aces and Eights. I really see him riding a Harley TNA. Yeah, good job on that one. But
I just remember that thing from a few weeks ago. Remember, this is gut check.
Yeah, gut check.
Members.
Yeah, Bruce Pritchard's best impersonation of Vince McMahon. Fail. But by the way, TNA, check your audio because several times you can hear the people echoing in the video. So, yeah, kind of like that. But, you know what, what's your take on this, Ash? Because, a lot of people are still thinking that possibly, one rumor is Brooke Hogan's behind Aces and Eights.
Well, that's the one that I thought was happening because she was saying nothing, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was just a huge swerve and it was Sting.
That would be a swerve, I'll tell you that.
Who hasn't been around? But who's the guy that knows the runnings of everything?
Well, there's another guy that a lot of people aren't thinking of that they could be bringing back. And I've talked about it before on here. Jeff Jarrett.
Oh yeah, Double J.
You never know. You never know.
Make it a complete... Well, the other thing we did see as well in the night is Wes Briscoe suddenly turned up from out of nowhere.
Oh yeah.
Talking with Kurt Angle.
Oh yeah. So.
This is the same guy that 2 weeks ago we saw put a mask on and hit Austin Aries.
Fantastic camera work, by the way, TNA. Fantastic camera work. Heads up on that.
What's that about? I think they kind of showed their hand. Showed their hand. I just realised,
Well, let's talk about this next segment, which I first thought was a complete, utter waste of time. Just a time filler. Even though it's great to look at the knockouts. Even Tara. Tara is still hot. Doesn't matter how, if she's 40 or not. She is still hot.
I know it had a purpose.
Yeah, we didn't think I didn't think it had a purpose at first. Well, there was a purpose to it. It was Tara calling out Miss Tessmacher to congratulate her on winning their match at No Surrender and retaining the Knockouts title. Then puts the title on her, and they look like, they're going to be friend, and, I'll say friend, how about Les? Lesbian, you idiots. One Studley Man, Ashley, I remember what you were chanting.
Yeah, I was chanting, bring back winter.
No.
Oh, come on. It's even more important now that she's been let go.
Lesbian kiss. Lesbian kiss. Lesbian kiss.
Yeah, bring back Windsor. Have it a threesome.
Oh, God. But next thing you know, Tessmacher is, celebrating, she's getting on the turnbuckles, and, playing up to the crowd. And then Tara, out of nowhere, clotheslines Tessmacher and gives her the widow's peak, But here's the thing, it's an apparent heel turn for Tara, but it really didn't pan out too well since the fucking crowd was enjoying it!
I like it.
The crowd was chanting her name. Yeah, nice job on the heel turn, TNA. When you're supposed to turn heel, the crowd is supposed to hate your guts, not fall in more love with you.
Well, you say that. Kind of worked for Daniel Bryan. Kind of worked for CM Punk. Kind of worked for Austin Aries.
Well,
who says it can't work for New Jack?
Oh Lord, you're tempting me. You're tempting me really bad to make a video on him. You know that, right? But as far as this segment goes, yeah, basically all we can say, it's supposed to be an apparent heel turn for Tara over the Knockouts title. So that's all I can say about it. The crowd really didn't. They actually warmed up to it instead of started hating Tara's guts, which was the obvious point of what was supposed to happen, and it didn't happen. I'm just going to give it a 4 out of 5, just basically because we saw Tara and Miss Tessmacher in one ring, and they're both smoking unbelievably hot.
That's biased.
I'm a lonely guy. Give me a break.
Wow.
Your thoughts?
I want to put a comment in the section below.
Oh, Lord. Your thoughts on the Tara Tessmacher segment?
Yeah, it made sense eventually.
Yeah, it made sense eventually. But to me, Ash, it was like the first 2 or 3 minutes of it, and I was like... That's all I can say.
I'm snoring so loud.
Sorry.
I thought you were on a tape recorder. Who does that? Who puts themselves on a tape recorder? Oh, wait.
Hint, 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 hint. Main event time, we saw Jeff Hardy and Bully Ray going at it with Jeff Hardy's #1 contendership on the line at Bound for Glory. Very good match between these two guys, although I will say this, again, Jeff Hardy wins the match, great matchup between these two, but here's the thing. The one thing that stuck out in my mind the most, after we heard the announcement that the #1 contendership was going to be on the line, was a predictable run-in by the Aces and Eights. And that did not happen. We did not see it. It was to me, it looked like it was going to be too obvious for the Aces and Eights not to run in.
It looks like they don't know what the purpose of the Aces and Eights is anymore.
Yeah, pretty much. But like I said before, if they would have had Hardy lose his #1 contendership to Bully Ray last night on Impact, I would have been mad as hell, because then they would have kind of made the Bound for Glory series the past several months kind of useless. The winner of the series is supposed to get a #1 contendership, albeit the next night on the following Impact, he's going to lose it to another guy who lost the Bound for Glory series. So, but it was still a good match, a good main event in my opinion, between Hardy and Bully Ray. A little bit shocked that we did not have any Aces and Eights involvement, so that's what I'm going to give it. I'm going to go 4 out of 5, because TNA actually surprised me for once, because having putting in a predictable factor of Aces and Eights and then not using it Might have been a swerve on TNA's part.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
3 out of 5 because no surrender.
Well, let's get to our overall opinion on Impact Wrestling this week. I'm going to go 3.5 out of 5. It was a decent show. It was a decent show. The Zima Ion Sanjay Dutt match was okay, even though, like I said before, very Hurricanrana heavy. Great match with Styles and Kazarian. Just loved it. Again, Kazarian lucky to walk away without a broken neck. Chavo Guerrero and Daniels, great match between these two. The Tara heel turn, really, I don't know. I really don't know what to say, because the audience reaction, they were actually warming up more to Tara instead of hating her for attacking Miss Tessmacher. And Jeff Hardy and Bully Ray main event, it was good, because I'm speaking from the standpoint that I did not see No Surrender. Actually, you did, but overall score for me, 3.5 out of 5 on this one. Ash, your thoughts?
3 out of 5. Because half the show was No Surrender. Because it was like, those people who had watched the pay-per-view, it was really a case of, did you see the pay-per-view? No, you didn't? Oh, well, we'll show most of it to you again anyway. You had a fight between Rude and Storm. Except this time it was more on the outside rather than backstage. You had Hardy versus Ray. Again, for some bizarre reason. You had Zima Ryan versus Sanjay Dutt. Again, for some bizarre reason. And also, the match wasn't as good as the match that they had on the pay-per-view. You had the Tara Tessmacher thing, which they kind of teased that she wasn't happy with the result on the pay-per-view, but then the payoff was we did get her fully blown heel, and then the aces and eights appearing at the most inopportune times, like the pay-per-view. Make a big thing about I don't want no aces and eights. Then you're expecting aces and eights are going to turn up, and then no.
So what we want to know now? Go ahead.
So overall, yeah, 3 out of 5. But what do you think?
Yes, that's what we want to know, guys. What do you think on Impact Wrestling this week? What are your thoughts? Do you agree with our ratings? Or do you have a different rating? And if so, please tell us why. Put your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and favorite this video. And don't forget to subscribe to youtube.com/WrestleGamer and youtube.com/ZFXTV Network. So with that being said, for the Studley Man Ashley, I'm Double B Billy Boudreaux saying thank you very much for watching.